I was just gonna say for people in the chat, there's a reason I'm looking down, but you'll see when the podcast starts, I guess.
Yeah, he has to beat this record in Bejeweled.
Yes. No, Candy Crush. He's
Oh,
like
okay.
one of those hip kids.
Oh yeah, exactly, Candy Crush. PaleoSteno. Paleo is going for breaking the world record in Candy Crush today, live on this show. No, he isn't.
I mean, here's the thing. Does that count as character assassination or slander if we say that Paleo plays Candy Crush? I think the only thing that would be worse is, like, I don't know, Farmville.
My dad plays Farmville.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the big twist is that Paleo got into Candy Crush due to the Emoji Movie.
I forgot that movie existed.
You're welcome.
No!
And now everybody is reminded of it, thanks to Paleo and his endorsement of the Emoji Movie. And with that, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. Hey, and why? And this person hiding up there wondering about random drivel.
That would be awkward.
And today with us, brought to you by Candy Crush and the Emoji Movie, Paleo's Kitty.
Yes. Here he is.
What's his name?
Patches.
Nice.
Aww, he's a cutie. And the only reason we brought you on the podcast. Thank you guys.
Bye. Welcome to the post show. This was as good as it gets. The show is not just this episode. The entire show is over. We have peaked. We can't beat Kitty. No. No, Paleo, of course. Welcome to the show. I believe the last time we actually talked directly with each other, unless we ran into each other at any convention, was on your podcast ages ago.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like what was the last convention you were at?
BronyCon, actually.
Okay, yeah, it was probably BronyCon then.
If we ran into each other, but anyways,
I saw like everybody at the last one.
but yeah, instead of reminiscing about where we know each other, why don't you tell the audience who you are, what you do, and why they should care?
I'm PaleoSteno. I have a YouTube channel and I talk about movies and cartoons and games and stuff. Been doing that since like. I've been making videos for a long time, but I've been doing stuff on that channel since 2013.
Yeah, it says vlogs in the URL, so also talking about URLs. Yes.
I mean, and also you are the prime info giver about dolphins, right? We know all of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as hinted at, you're running your own podcast, which is, weirdly enough, I believe the entire podcast is unlisted on your channel, isn't it?
Unlisted?
Yeah, you have to reach it through playlist, don't you? Or am I...
No. It should be listed.
Because I looked for it recently and I was like, wait, he has a podcast. I know he has a podcast. And then I found, where is it actually? Now I cannot find it under your playlist either. My God, it's getting worse.
What, the Semi-Perfect podcast?
Yeah. No,
the POS podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm on that one as well. The Semi-Perfect podcast, which is run by Race and Sarah. But POS podcast is the one that I host on my channel.
But I don't see it.
And it has myself, Saberspark, Hirasashi, and Jax Blade, and Tommy Oliver, and then some random guests sometimes. Jim Gizriel used to be a regular on there, but ever since he has his kid, he's not as regular.
Stupid children ruining things.
There it is. There's the podcast. Why can't I... Okay, and here...
You are so professional.
Oh, it's on a different channel. That's why. I'm an idiot.
I put the POS podcast episodes on the POS podcast channel, but I still host the podcast on my own channel.
This makes so much more sense now.
You are...
Because, I got confused.
Entirely
Up
stupid.
to 75, I think, are still on my own channel.
I link both channels in the description down below. That keeps it easy. But yeah.
So, Paleo, what's been going on recently in your life? I'm sure you have plenty of adventures.
Oh yeah, I got a cat.
Oh yeah, as one can tell when one goes to the media section of your
on
kitty.
Yeah, I got him on Monday.
And ever since
boy. I already have one cat named Salem, and he's a black cat.
They look like they're getting
along. Oh yeah, we are having an epic.
Yeah, he's Salem's like about 3.5 now. But this guy, I have no idea how old he is. He's probably just a month old at the moment.
He is baby. That is the age. Oh man, it reminds me when I had kittens. They are so small and they break everything, but you can't get mad at them.
Yeah, it's surprising how quickly they learn how to use a litter box.
I mean, it's instinctual.
Says you.
Yeah, because both Salem and Patches use the litter box immediately. I was like, oh, I don't even have to worry about it.
I wished I had your cats. My cats never really learned.
Really?
No, they didn't. But also, my parents were kind of like, we don't want to deal with the smell, so they taught them to be indoor-outdoor cats, which I'm just like, I don't agree with that. I don't trust the outside world.
Because we've had Salem outside sometimes, but he got a fleas last year, and that was something to deal with. Because I had to flea bomb the house and take him over to my aunt's house and wash him there to get rid of the fleas. And then I got him an expensive flea collar to put on so he wouldn't get any more fleas. But I'm trying to keep them inside.
Yeah, flea bombs are the best. Let me tell you, when an entire litter of 6 kittens get fleas all at the same time, it's just like...
Oh my god.
Yeah, and also, I used to live by train tracks, and then after that, lived on a major road, and it's like, this is so not a good idea. There's no fence, and even then, cats are good jumpers.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so besides getting a kitten, has anything else been going on?
Not too much.
Can relate. But
my personal life got so much more exciting.
Oh boy, why don't you tell us?
I mean, I believe I already told you guys last week that I got back into Stardew Valley. But now I split my time between Stardew Valley and The Witcher. I wonder how.
Books.
Which one? Witcher 1, 2, or 3?
The thing is, I own all 3. I never finished 1, and because I have OCD, I went back and started 1 again.
We've all been doing witchery things because me and him are watching the show, and I've been listening to the book, The Last Wish, because the series is based off the first 3 little short story books, and I'm like, I need to know how the show is so confusing. Yeah. You can't tell when something's going on.
But this is mostly the worst, or the one truly weird or bad thing about the show, that until you figured this out, and since you checked it up on Wikipedia and told me the show is okay, but yeah, the show takes place in 3 different timelines, which are all 3 decades apart, and they just intersplice them. Parallelly happening events, and there is no hint in the show that this is the case. Or maybe there was a tiny date in the very first episode at some point. I don't know.
The only start that you get to things connecting is what episode are we on? The 5th, when Geralt's finally in the kingdom that Ciri is from. Point being, a lot of Witcher has taken over our lives in the weirdest way possible. But yes, you've been starting to play Witcher.
Yeah, now I have to time manage Witcher and Stardew Valley. Life is hard in quarantine.
so hard.
I know,
So hard.
right?
Oh, that reminds me. I was gonna be do my my dailies in Animal Crossing before the podcast, but I ran out of time.
Oh, I have an Animal Crossing story once it comes to my turn because something heartbreaking happened last night.
Oh no! You managed to kill a character in Animal Crossing?
No, stop playing The Witcher. It's not. But no, what else has anything else been going on, or do I talk about my traumatic events?
I mean, I assume that probably is it. I mean, something I ordered, but which did not arrive, but then will arrive on Tuesday. Yes, Ring Fit Adventure. So
lucky you.
Oh, you found one?
Well,
yeah.
So I just because easily you cannot really find it, at least not because of the stores all being closed. So I just went to Amazon. Oopsie.
Kitty Phil.
Okay.
Oh.
Kitty's
Actually, I'm gonna put him outside my room now.
Just for safety reasons. Okay.
Well, and nuisance reasons.
Flop. Tiny kitty. No, but so the thing was that, yeah, I just went the classical way of slave labor and went to Amazon. And I mean, here's the thing. So I already checked a bunch of stores, online pages, and they were like delivery times far in the future, like weeks in the future, and I was like, what? And I'm not gonna wait this long. So, but then I went on Amazon, and I don't know. I saw like, hey, delivery Saturday, like delivery on Saturday. I buy it. I was so sure that it probably has a later release date in Germany. Yeah, and then I realized it was actually Saturday, May 2nd, and not yesterday.
Good job.
However, I got a message today that, or maybe it actually was yesterday, and then they changed it to May Saturday when I checked again. I don't know.
They do that with delivery.
That's the thing, because it was not even delivered. I was like, that's weird. Why is it not even delivered? Oh, arrival date May 2nd. And I'm like, oh, it was next week Saturday. But now I got an email yesterday, I believe, that it actually got sent out and will probably arrive on Tuesday. So by next Sunday, AWKWARDCast, I will basically be ripped. That's the goal now, because
I told you that you're not going to get ripped. That is a cardio-based thing. You'll just lose that half kilo that you gained.
I turn it back. I turn it back into abs. It might get abs. I might. You might. I mean, I'm probably one of those people who can literally not develop abs, visible ones at least. I can feel. I can feel the things in between.
Can I tell them about your really bad, that moment when we were on the Santa Monica Pier with the tank top that was at the store? Okay,
probably no. Because I cannot remember it, so you have to.
We were on Santa Monica Pier. And there was a tank shirt being sold that says like abs under construction or something. Like it was like a coming soon thing saying about abs, and I was like, you should get one of those, and you were like, no, I'm too insecure about it.
Sounds right, because I can't get abs.
I know, but it's a funny shirt.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
you're weak.
Okay.
I guess.
Hi. Life is exhausting. So yesterday was the Pony Fest online convention again. That was a lot of fun. I did a baking stream on there that went really well. I apparently had people come from AC and Saber stream onto mine because poor Saber stream was lagging so much yesterday.
Oh yeah, it started lagging on the second half when we were doing Jackbox.
I felt so bad.
We were able to get it fixed though. What's funny is that it was like, oh yeah, be careful, try to make it PG. And there was that one image that was posted yesterday. It was like, we're a family-friendly PG convention. Then you see the other pony says, what the fuck?
Yeah,
there's
so many like accidental like fucks and shits we said on the stream.
But
yeah.
Maybe to leap ahead and take one of the questions since we're on the topic from Fraser. How did Keyframe come up with the baking panel for Ponyfest Online?
Because I'm bored and I bake as a hobby, and I've been baking and cooking ever since. Like, I learned how to use a stove when I was like 3 or 4. I know how to cook. I'm very much a cooking-minded, stereotypical Italian. And and I was just like, I don't want to do a reviewing panel. I don't want to do another analyst panel. Silverquill's got that covered. Baking. And
and I was not even asked. Proven once again that I'm a has-been.
So you have to apply. You don't get asked.
Oh.
You entitled.
Why did you apply if you had no plan what to do? Oh wait,
I
you're
had a
bored.
Plan what to do. Yeah, I was bored and I wanted to bake and I wanted justification for buying baking supplies. Still haven't bought a hand mixer, so I did everything by hand again, but this time I didn't get a blister on my finger. But
Odie is proud of you.
I did it and it went really well. There were people in the chat that were like saying that they were essential workers and this was their day off and it made them happy to watch something very calming. Let me tell you, it was hard not to curse because I am someone that uses the word fuck as a. Like, everyone that knows me can attest, I am a sailor mouth. And it's not out of anger. It's just how I talk.
Basically like Paleo streams then.
Yeah, it's hard because, like we were saying, like it's so much easier when you're in person to realize you're saying it. When you're online, it's like it just comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say a single curse at all. No, I didn't. I caught myself. I can be. Excuse me.
You are excused.
I used to live in a Southern Bible Belt Christian town. I know how to fake it. But
that's what she said.
Really well. It really went really well. The sales in the vendor area went really well. It was overall good, and it's fun. And I'm staffed there too, so I've been doing things, making new ideas to help the vendors there because it's it's hard for us that vend at cons right now when there's no cons. But
oh no! Odie told me that he actually missed your panel. So let me help and reenact. And then you pour the butter.
Okay,
into
first
the
of
pan,
all,
and you
stop.
stir it. Keep stirring. Yes.
I hate every noise that you were making, and I really do want Paleo to come back on this podcast. So please stop. Don't make it this another Rushlight Invader where we never get him on the cast again.
Maybe, I don't know, Paleo, maybe you like ASMR, I don't know.
See, the lack of response is very funny. But besides that, I have a story of trauma that I need to share. Hey, Lizzie. So, Animal Crossing.
Oh boy.
It's a game.
So I've been told.
It's a game I quite enjoy.
Yeah.
I play with friends. I wear a duck bill. And my village has 2 penguins. All is right in the world. There is an aspect of Animal Crossing called the stock market.
Yeah.
Where every Sunday there's a turnip lady, you buy turnips, and then at your store throughout the week, there could be a shift in prices of how much you could sell it for. You could make a lot of money, or you could waste a lot of money, and then your turnips rot. Last night, Sean and Chris woke me up at 1 a.m. to tell me that they were doing some kind of stock market thing, and I was like, fine, I'll come in. What do you want? There's a site where they do turnip exchanges where people post up their islands and you wait in a queue and then you get a dodo code. And there was an island selling turnips for like $530 a coin. Keep in mind, the turnips only cost like 94. So I bought it. Also keep in mind, the new day starts at 5 a.m. This becomes important.
Yeah.
I did there. I went into the queue. It was perfectly fine and nice. And then that island closed. Then I went to another one. And that island closed. And then I finally got into a line. I was almost there. I spent $75,000 worth of turnips. And then the new day started, and my turnips rotted as soon, like 2 minutes before I was allowed on the queue to go in. $75,000 gone.
You mean bells, right?
Bells, dollars, whatever, it's currency. But
when you say dollars, it sounds like you lost actual real life money there.
It felt like that emotionally. Shut up! You Stardew Valley ass farming piece of crap. No, then Sean forwarded me $75,000 and I bought bells again, and the bells cost $106 a piece. And then I went into the queue, and then I got onto that island, and it took like 20 minutes to sell stuff because people kept flying in and out, and you can't make exchanges when people are flying.
Yeah,
and it was so frustrating. But then I got 400,000 bells from it, so I did make more money than I lost. But after that moment, I was like, I've never had Animal Crossing exhaust me.
Yeah. So here's what I've been doing with a couple of friends. My friend Hero and Katie and Jax, and we recently had Viva Reverie enter our server, and we've been talking a lot. And she lives in Australia, and the thing is, on Saturday, here in the West, I guess, it's Sunday there, so we can get turnips from there, then sell, and then fly back and sell here where it's Saturday. So
yeah.
The thing is, like, with it has to be good prices though, because the first time we found this out, we only had like a couple hours to do it, because we were seeing that Viva had her turnips selling at like 100 something. And then one of our islands was selling at 198. So we're like, oh, we could do this infinitely for how many amount of times we're like, how much time we have left until, you know, the day rolls over. Or until the Daisy May leaves Viva's town. So, yeah, we realized that, we tried it, and then we were like, okay, the next weekend we'll do it. And we did it again. But this past weekend, it just wasn't good prices, unfortunately. So we're just checking every Saturday to see if turnips are selling at a good price at Viva's, and if we have good selling prices at our stores.
Yes.
So make a deal with an Australian, is what I'm saying.
But what does the Australian get out of it?
Well, they get money too, because they can take the turnips and sell it to our towns.
There's a symbiotic relationship there. But no, I did the responsible thing after finally going through this hell. I went back to my island because it's still Sunday, and I bought 1,000 more turnips. Now we wait. The lesson here is, if you give a New Yorker the stock market, she will become a yuppie.
Oh, well.
I just need to get the button-down shirt and the tie and slick my hair back, like, you know, like this, and then and stare at graphs and charts. I mean, I'm already I still have a turnip.
Talking about money, this week's sponsor is Batman.
This week's sponsor is also a Pinkie Pie coffee mug for coffee.
It's Sundrop. Backwards.
I love Sundrop.
Yeah, it's great. It's my favorite soda.
The only thing better is Squirt.
Where did you get the coffee mug?
I think this was a Christmas present.
Oh no.
And then a protein shake, which is chocolate, whey powder, banana, and spinach. Spinach doesn't taste like anything. Fun fact, you get the nutrients and you don't taste spinach. It sounds disgusting, but it's not. But
yeah, I have spinach on sandwiches.
Oh, spinach is great. It helps you get muscles. At least that's what cartoons taught me, and since when have cartoons lied? But yeah, so my week has been work and tragedy. And also annoying my friends, because in Animal Crossing I wear a duck bill and sunglasses most of the time, because I don't know, it just annoys them because they never see my actual face, which helps because I get stung by wasps a lot, so you can't see my fuck ups. But yeah, life is boring and tiring, but I'm still here, so I did something right. That's a quote to put on a shirt. But yeah, so I guess I'll go into media because are just getting shorter and shorter.
Haja.
I have a very quick media this week because, well, it's music. So, Zach Callison. I'm so happy I chose a person who works on Steven Universe when I got Paleo on the podcast. Oh, your tweets of MLP versus Steven Universe are always a joy to see on my feed. The discourse and chaos you provide is something. But no, Zach Callison, who is known as the voice of Steven, I guess like last year or 2018, released an album of 9 songs called A Picture Perfect Hollywood Heartbreak, and I listened to the entire thing today, not just today, this week, like different songs, and then I just listened through the whole album from start to finish today. And holy crap, this kid is talented. And he's like my age, and now I feel scared. I don't know what genre to call this music. It's very musical-esque without being show tunes. There is like trumpets and brass in there, and then there's like hard rock. Some of it is spoken word. There's a big mishmash of things that are all in one. I don't know what to categorize the style. It's not ska, it's not rock, it's Zach.
Rock.
But there is kind of a story that follows through the songs, but you don't need to. You could still listen to each song on their own. I would say this is the anti-love song album, because the entire song is about a toxic relationship. Like, I think one of the songs is basically him talking about doing drugs, and the worst drug is loving someone, and all this kind of stuff. Basically, if you want to see someone going through a mental breakdown in the best music possible, this is actually it, which apparently Zach was going through a lot of mental health problems during Steven Universe production, and that's what a lot of Steven's problems himself is in the future.
Okay.
And when you listen to this album, it's like, oh, Zach, do you need a hug?
So he really is Steven.
One of the opening songs, like, I think it's like the first interlude song. There's songs, and then there's little interlude songs. And there's one where it's just a bunch of people who are played by voices who are in Steven Universe, like Grace Nolek, who plays Connie, Michelle Dietz, who plays Amethyst, Dee Dee Mangohall, who plays Pearl, so on and so forth, who are just these characters talking shit about Zach, including a line that says, "I heard he got fired from that cartoon he was working on." Which isn't referring to Steven. He actually worked on a Disney show called Sophia the First, and I think he got fired off that because he got too old. And then it just goes like, "I heard he does drugs and screams a lot now," and then he just starts screaming. And the song ends with the sound of, well, you know, someone cutting coke with a credit card, and which is interesting.
That might be more accurate than you think.
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah,
but
there's some rumors about him at conventions doing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
But like I've heard since this album's come out, his mental health has gotten a lot better because he took a big hiatus off shit and stuff. But it's such a good album. It's so good to hear like this kind of music, where it definitely is. It's songs that do pump you up. The song "War" I think is my favorite song on the album, which is like. It's so, like, angry. It's good angry music. It is music that you need to listen to when you're angry, because it just is, like, it helps you get it out of your system.
But yeah, you basically sent me the entire playlist, didn't you?
I sent you the playlist, and
yes.
I think the specific song I sent you was She Don't Know, which the conversation about that song was great, because it was like, hey, did you listen to this song? Yeah, style's okay. And that's it. That was the end of that conversation. But I do recommend people listening to the full album. I think you appreciate the songs more when you listen to them sequentially. Though I do think I heard the first song were from watching an animatic someone made of it. So I didn't see the entire album first. I saw just a song and that took me in.
But I'm putting the entire link then in the description down below to the entire playlist. That's what. Well,
the whole playlist is on YouTube. It's a 9-song album. It's not a long one. And I want to hear what people think about it. Tweet at me if you listen to it. Tell me if you like it. Paleo, don't tweet an MLP song to me in response. I will hurt you. I will find you. There will be a MomoCon next year.
There is a list for when this quarantine is over. And then round trip around the US and any other places on the world where people need punching.
Well, I mean, the only place where someone needs punching that's not in the US is you, so... It's just like a small circle and then and then right back.
What about British Ninja, who is responsible for my facial hair?
That's not my fight to have. But no, that was my media. So you guys can talk about yours. I will be right back.
Paleo, what do you wanna bring to the table? What do you feel like talking about?
There's a few things I could talk about, but I guess I'll talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ooh, yes, let me find something for this.
Yeah, because I'm very conflicted about it. Because recently, the past couple of years, I've been like playing through all the Final Fantasies because I wanted to play through more RPGs. Because I'm a fan of the genre, but I hadn't played that many. So I figured to play some of the Final Fantasies, and Final Fantasy VII is the only one that I had like any experience with. Because I played a bit of that as a kid, because I had a friend in middle school who was a huge Final Fantasy fan. So I played a bit of Final Fantasy VII up to the end of the first disc, and I think at the beginning of the second disc a little bit.
The good old times when games still came in discs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they still come in discs, but, you know, a different format.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, one game on multiple discs. That's what
Yeah, which this is actually on 2 discs, because they have to put a lot of the...
the remake.
Yeah, they have to put a lot of the files in this 100 gigabyte Blu-ray that you install onto the PS4. Because the PS4 still runs on a hard drive, so you have to make a billion copies of like the same asset so it can load like fast enough. Which thankfully that might be a thing of the past with the upcoming consoles. But anyway, yeah, I'm conflicted on the remake because after finishing it, I went through this sort of like went through some stages of grief with the ending, because I'm like,
do I have to turn on the Do I have to turn on the spoiler warning, or
no?
Okay.
I won't spoil it.
This is a remake of a game that is how many years old?
No,
but did they change?
There are a lot of spoilers for a remake.
But did
like for this remake specifically, there are a lot.
But that's basically the question. Did they change a lot about the ending? Does it have a different ending?
Well, the thing is, like, the Final Fantasy VII remake is not the full game. It's only the Midgar part of the game, which is like the first 5 to 6 hours of the original game.
And it's already on 2 discs.
Yeah,
it's a big game then.
Yeah, because it took me about like 39 hours to beat. Which, funny enough, like the original game, when I played it recently, it took me about 35 hours to beat the original. So with the remake, they do change a lot of things to where I'm not sure if they are good changes. Like a lot of the things with the characters, I really love the characters. The more in-depth characterization of like Barrett, Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith are like really good. Mm-hmm. The character models look great. Some of the graphics, it's unfortunate because I feel like a lot of it is held back by the hardware it's on. Since it's such a late PS4 title, there's a lot of things where it's like that could look a lot better with some of the environments where you'll see like doors that look like they belong in a PS2 game.
I barely see a difference.
God damn it.
And the some of the NPCs, their animations are not nearly as good as the main characters, which is expected, but it's kind of jarring. But the main thing for me is just the way the narrative is told, because they kind of whore out Sephiroth a lot. When in the original he's meant to be more of like, oh, this in the original they use him more like they do in Jaws. Like they use the Jaws method of like hiding the monster. And you barely see him until like you get out of Midgar.
Here now he's basically kind of like the big bad bosses version of Sephiroth when he's played by like Nate Wants to Battle. This whole game has become a thirst trap of a game.
Yeah.
Seeing people's timelines of Tifa and Cloud and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, with a lot of those character interactions I really, really like. Like up to like 90% of the game, I was like really enjoying it. But then that last 10% happened, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I saw Aficionado's Chris play because he's like such a huge Final Fantasy fan, and he was playing that final boss stage, which I don't know if it's a spoiler, but the boss stage is 2 stages.
Oh, and that whole thing there, that is not in the original at all. Yeah.
But it's also bullshit because they don't let you heal up between the 2 things. It's just fighting, and then fighting. And I think he was playing that particular level for like 12 hours. Because he just kept losing. And
there's a lot of like in the final thing with the Shinra Tower, there's a lot of bosses in a row. But a lot of that stuff I was fine with. Is the final thing where at the end where it's like this is kind of weird, and I was kind of upset as I was playing it, because I was like, why do they need to go this big with the first part? They don't need to.
Yeah, they don't.
So
I guess maybe they wanted to go big because of the fact they have to release the game incrementally.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things where I know there's a lot of people, including some friends, that are playing this as their first exposure to Final Fantasy VII, and I'd rather them just play the original, like play one of the ports on Switch or PS4 or Steam.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds a little bit like the Half-Life dilemma they're putting themselves up to. Like, if they do it too big in the individual increments, that eventually they will reach a point where they're like, shit, we can't top ourselves anymore. Let's drop this project forever. Well, until Alex, okay. But this was a prequel, so it doesn't help.
Yeah, but there's... What frustrates me about it is that they want it to be something for the old fans and the new fans, but new fans are going to be a bit confused because there's some things in there and some character appearances there that are going to be like super jarring, because you're going to be like, who the fuck is that? They just like appear out of nowhere with no context. So it's frustrating because it's like they want to make a sequel and not a remake.
But they want to attach the characters from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Because, you can't really put Aerith in a Final Fantasy sequel, reasons.
Yeah, unless the way that they're doing a lot of like weird stuff with this ending, and people have a lot of theories about what's going on. But I don't know if it's going to pay off like when they make the next parts or not, but it's looking like it's going to be like a clusterfuck going forward with how they ended it.
Ooh, okay.
So do you recommend that people wait until like the
I would recommend you play the original if you want the story that people fell in love with, because the characters I still do really like in the remake. So I would say at least like play the original first, then play the remake. Though the good thing about the ports is that they do have a speed up feature, because there's a lot of the times in the these older RPGs, sometimes the battles can take a while.
Turn-based RPGs, baby.
Yeah. So with the ports, they have it to where you can speed up the battle animations and everything. So that's convenient, and you can also like overpower yourself if you want to. Just if you want to get through the story.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, like you've been saying, the characters are good in here. I love this new cast because
I love the voice cast they had.
The old voice of Aerith was kind of bland to me, and I love the person who
Are you talking about
Aerith
the one from
now.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. Bland as toast, and also Cloud is such an ass in this game, and
I love it. Like they brought back his like more like sarcastic demeanor rather than like the sad emo boy, because the way the characterization in this goes is with I love the part where he's seeing these people in the slums, like looking at the TV of the news and what's going on with the Mako reactor blowing up or whatever, and he makes this remark saying like, "It's not a show," and then Aerith says like, "They know that. They're scared." It's like just shutting Cloud down, and it's great like seeing Aerith like having more empathy than Cloud does.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of your points. I mean, I still need to play the game to really get into like the combat system and stuff, because seeing other people play it, it looks more like a hack and slash deal. Which
it's not exactly like that, because it's a lot more strategic. Just knowing when to heal your characters, when to do certain attacks. I think it can be improved though, because there's a couple of things where I think they can take some stuff that they have from Kingdom Hearts. Like there is no aerial recovery when you get knocked back. In Kingdom Hearts, they have something like that with aerial recovery, and there's also no if you get attacked while you're doing a spell or while you're healing or something, an attack can knock you out of that, so you don't actually like do it. So I think if they added some other things like that in the future installments, it might make the combat a bit better.
Yeah, I guess to kind of close off this one, if you had to associate this with any other games like gameplay style and combat and stuff, is there any games that you think are kind of similar? So people,
I think the most similar would be Kingdom Hearts, just because it has a lot of the same like elements with the same spells and cures and stuff, but because Kingdom Hearts like takes that from Final Fantasy, but and it also has a bunch of the shortcuts where you can do like L1 and then like a face button, but also the battle directors from Kingdom Hearts worked on this game, so it's similar. It's just that it has that more strategic element to where you can use the ATB meter to choose which spells to do while it pauses, the combat. So
yeah, my favorite Final Fantasy character is Donald Duck.
That's what I've been told. Yes, he's very great in those games.
But yes, have you picked your media out of your 2 Maximilian?
No.
God damn it! You had enough time.
I have not. I mean, I actually wanted to ask the chat, but now it was like, if we wait for an answer now. But yeah,
you should have asked the chat in text.
I probably should have at the latest when Paleo revealed his. No, I mean, okay. I saw 2 things on Netflix, or maybe I leave it up to you two. So the 2 things I saw on Netflix is this week, where for once the Willoughbys.
Yeah, okay. I saw that.
And I Lost My Body.
Oh, they're both good. I guess the Willoughbys because it's newer.
And I mean,
and also Paleo's seen it, so
yeah, I've seen both of them.
But yeah, with I Lost My Body, it was like, I mean, what you would expect from an Oscar-nominated animation film. I didn't get it.
Did you not get Klaus?
That's a fair point, but yeah, the ending, I was like, what the fuck just happened?
You are not a high art person.
No, I am not.
You are the Campbell soup.
Yeah, and then with this protagonist where I'm like, is this supposed to be romantic or creepy? And then the girl is like, whoa, you're creepy. And I'm like, okay, it was supposed to be creepy.
Like, I think half of that movie is good because...
Let me guess, the half where you follow the hand.
The parts with the hand are great.
And too much symbolism with this fucking fly. Let's talk about something...
You don't understand art. That is the
it's true.
basic of that.
Excuse me. Look at my artsy background. I don't
care about your lo-fi hip hop.
I had
studying background.
I had this background up during meetings at work, so.
You said this. You told this. I still think that says more about you than anything else.
It certainly does.
Yes, Willoughby's.
But yeah, that one and also this one.
Because Willoughby's is interesting.
Okay, Willoughby's. Yes. So, first of all, one freaky animation.
I love the animation.
Yeah, it's like
when I first saw it, when I was watching it, I was like, wow, they made like this 3D look very two-dimensional. It's really good.
Yeah, also the hair, but the hair actually looks like
Yawn.
like Yawn, like they are
puppets,
like legit puppets. So they emulated this somehow.
It's so weird that the mother is using the father's mustache hair to knit things, so they're making clothes out of their hair.
Yeah, it's
look, man.
Very
you have
weird.
To be resourceful.
Oh great! Oh no, Saber found us.
Saber's here.
Hey, Sabe. I'm sorry, baby. It's not what it looks like. You know that we would have wanted you. Sorry.
I mean, no. Paleo at least has a working webcam, Saber.
Paleo doesn't get drunk before our podcast. How dare Chrissy? No, I really do like it. It feels like you mix like the character animation, like the bodies and modeling and stuff of the Sony Pictures movies, like Cloudy.
Yeah.
But you took like the texturing and the use of different not mediums, styles of fabric from like the Trolls movies. Because you can say whatever you want about the Trolls movies, they are fucking eye candy.
Like the Trolls World Tour, I really liked.
I'm actually gonna watch that with my friend Tia because no one else of my friends wants to watch the Trolls 2 movie, and I was like,
because the first Trolls did have like a lot of the felt and fabric stuff. Trolls World Tour takes it to another level. With all that.
I still want to see both of them. Still need to see both of them.
Yeah.
But
you always join me and Tia.
Willoughby's.
But no, the Willoughby's
yes.
Story-wise.
So story. I mean, it's the I believe it actually was your tweet, Paleo, that got me onto it. I first saw it in your tweet, and then I logged into Netflix, and it was there, and I like, hey. I heard that this seems to be a very interesting dark comedy or a dark movie, and I'm like, dark sounds good. We watched it. I mean, the movie actually starts out with the narrator being like, "Oh yeah, you know all those happy stories. This is none of them." And holy crap, they really went dark at times.
It was like, oh, like you have inconvenienced your mother by giving with your birth. He just throws out the kid.
Yes, and then regularly into the coal cellar. Like, wow. And with the ending, without actually saying something about the ending, so keeping it spoiler free. But yeah, when there is this one moment where they seem to go for the ending, and I'm like,
I was about to be like so disappointed.
I
was gonna be like, oh no, don't do this crap.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh good, they're not.
Yeah, but it was like because the movie was so did not shoo away from going dark before that I was like, do they really have the balls to end it like this? I mean, yeah, it would probably have been unsatisfying, but no, then they went for the other end.
The narrator. Say, though, a lot of the humor in this movie is kind of like you feel bad for laughing.
Yeah. I mean, they are really all pretty horrible in their own way. I mean, the parents
like,
are...
Unfortunately, their parents were still alive.
Yeah, the parents... I mean, were they? But yeah, the parents were the worst, but the children... I mean, the children have the excuse of their parents being their parents, but the children were also pretty nasty. Each in their own way.
Actually brings up a thing. I thought the movie was scattered a bit after the Child Protective Services came in. Thoughts? I like the slow burn of the family dynamics leading up to that. I kind of agree. I do too. I really did like the family dynamic, because you already have a big cast of characters with those 4 siblings.
And I have 3.
Oh well, you know.
Come on, can you tell the
Twins
difference?
aren't real people.
I mean, those two. What was then?
They're just one person. There's no such thing as 2 people that look the same.
Fusion's just
one.
a cheap tactic.
But those two share not just looks, but also a personality and a name.
And the voice actor.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Ms. Saber. But no, okay, 3 characters, but that's still a tri-Terry cast, and that's a lot to work with and get fleshed out characters. Adding the child, I like the Child Protective Service lady.
Yes.
I do love her, but I have a problem with a lot of modern films in that I feel like they go so hard for the ensemble cast that I there's always a character that kind of gets left in the dirt, fleshing out wise, the twins, but like. I kind of would have liked... They had a good balance with the kids, and I feel like the film would have been stronger if there was more of the kids by themselves.
Yeah.
But this is your media.
Yeah, exactly. Allegedly, it's mine. No, but... yeah, it's really weird. It breaks a lot of norms. Only now came to my mind, like, yeah, it basically goes for the angle that unfortunate events tries to go for. Like you have the children in a crappy situation and whatnot, but here it still has this I mean, in unfortunate events, stuff is really, really messed up, and it's like sometimes not even funny anymore because it's just like quirky stories, quirky, very dark stories, while here it is quirky, kind of dark, but still funny. You can still laugh about the stuff that happens. It's so over the top and blown out of proportion that it becomes funny again in its weirdness. I mean, except for the travel guides, most people are okay.
But who would you recommend this to, and who do you think like the movie? Because I do think this actually goes past the if you're allergic to fun thing that I usually say for people who don't like things.
Yeah, I mean, it's due to its weirdness and really dark tones. Like, when I say those parents are the worst, they are really, really horrible parents. So not even a lot of exaggeration there. So it's
like the parents.
Yeah, if you know, they were really for hating, but well done, I guess.
Hate sinks.
Yeah. And they were also so disturbing, like the dad with his like multiple Adams apples going the thing.
Their weird like romance is so like off-putting. It was like ew.
It's like if Gomez and Morticia were like unbearable.
Yeah, like unlikable.
Yes.
It's if they were unlikable.
Yeah, I mean they had some things that I was a little bit weirded out by some kind of repetitive jokes, like where they were just hammering down the quirk. So the twins share one sweatshirt, and basically whenever they finish a sentence, floop, they switch it over or they perform an action, they always switch it over from one to the other. And just like, okay, yes, this was the opening joke that you two together only have one shirt. Now it's this running thing that it kept happening and happening. And then the mother always, in no matter what situation, is always doing her knitting. It's like, those were those...
They made their character quirks a little bit...
Yes, too in your face. Yes, too in your face, where it felt a little bit like... because the overall tone, I'm not even sure if it's traditionally a children's movie, really. Because I don't know, some of the elements, would you want to have children watch it? Then again, back in the good old days, children's stuff was...
I would call it a family film in that I do think there's aspects that can be enjoyed by children, but appreciated by older people that have more life experience.
Maybe.
You know, there's definitely certain plot aspects, like the entire child services thing, I think would go over a lot of kids' heads who aren't exposed to that in real life. I honestly think this may, unless you watch Lilo and Stitch, like a good person, you probably have never heard of Child Protective Services before this movie if you're a child. Also,
hopefully.
when they do, oh god, Lilo and Stitch came out almost 20 years ago.
You are old.
We'll have its 20th anniversary in a couple years.
Shush. I already have to deal with Emperor's New Groove having its 20th anniversary this year. I don't want to think.
Yeah, but who should watch it, who should not watch it? Once again, it gets dark. So if you're really looking for a feel-good movie, so don't check it out. If you're easily weirded out, don't watch it. However, if you are into a bit more of a more drastic take on this kind of family movie where they're not shooing away from some things that are like, holy crap, I can't believe they just did it.
Like a family movie with bite.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to describe it. And I would say since it is on Netflix, and who doesn't own Netflix, at least now with the quarantine going on.
Who doesn't peddle Netflix?
Exactly. I would say it's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah. Also, to answer your question, Magical, I was young when that movie came out. I wasn't a toddler. In fact, Emperor's New Groove is the first movie ever I had cognitive memory watching. So
booyah!
Booyah indeed. Boom, baby. Anyways,
Boom,
it's
baby.
question time. The Q&A.
Question
time.
time.
Get any on Twitter?
We did get some on Twitter. Let me see. Okay. From Hintshade or Hintano. Not sure if you guys have tackled this series before. Because of the subject matter, but the two series, My Cartoon President and the quote-unquote prank show by Sacha Baron Cohen, Who is America? I have seen neither. Both names ring familiar.
I've actually seen both.
Oh wait, no. Oh wait. I have seen at least clips from My Little President. Because, for people who are wondering, this is what we are talking about. Ooh, look at this face.
To give little thoughts so that way we can move on.
Remember Little Bush?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically Little Bush.
But a follow-up.
That is what I could say. And also, I know it's very easy to make jokes about the presidency right now, and I don't blame you. But it's just, you can't just say that something sucks and it's suddenly funny. I like, the reason why I like when South Park handles political satire and stuff like that is that it doesn't really, it bites both ends of the stick.
Yeah.
You can really tell the personal biases of the staff working on this show. But I do like the Sacha Baron Cohen one because that one is just pointing out hypocrisies with a lot of different people.
Yeah. I mean,
I haven't heard that one.
There's more of a liberal tilt on that too, but that's most media. But I do think that one is the better of the two. Anyways, other questions.
Yeah, I mean, I would, from what I heard, say the same, but since I haven't watched it.
Yes. Let's see. Enigma asks, if you had a cologne perfume made as well as a lotion based off your preferences, what would its scent be in the description? Also, give a brief selling display with an alluring or sexy voice to really entice the people buying. And they said the audience is the people on stream. This is what I meant by we get silly questions, Paleo. Max, why don't you go first? I know you love these creative questions.
Absolutely. So we are basically talking about the scent of Max.
The scent of Max. Yes.
Yeah. So the new fragrance from Max. Get
I don't like this.
any flavor. It smells like anything you can imagine. Any flavor, because Max has no competent sense of smell to begin with. Buy it
That's
now.
true.
It's true.
I mean, also, what kind of Willy Wonka ass shit are you pulling out here where it smells like anything, like the Mary Poppins cold medicine? Okay, I got one. Hello. Are you tired of being a filthy person on the internet? Well, you could be less filthy with AWKWARDCast, where you smell like space, because space doesn't smell like anything. Personally, I'd rather not smell like anything than smell like someone else. So, Paleo, your sales pitch. Come on, boy.
And then and then the chat has to vote who did the best, and it will totally not be a popularity contest, as it always is in those kinds of situations. But please, Paleo, you have the stage.
All right, you know that smell you get when you open a new game?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what my fragrance is, because that smells always great.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's lovely. That is. I vote for Paleo. Look, that is like the nerd version of new car smell.
In space, no one can smell your BO.
See, that's a good selling point. So I guess we'll see what chat thinks once we do the next question, because latency.
Exactly.
Let's see.
I have more. I have more on Twitter.
I know, I'm just picking
Okay.
the one that we're going to do
Okay.
later.
J-Rock asks, Fall 3, and for the first time, it's not a would you rather question. We are seeing evolution happening in real time. If you were a movie director and you had to choose one book that has not been turned into a movie, what would it be? So a book you want to see turned into a movie.
That's a good question. What
best,
have I read that hasn't become a movie?
Exactly, to the best of your knowledge. I mean, if there is some kind of indie production in India of this book, then
I was actually thinking of this earlier today.
Whoa!
Wow, nice.
Yeah, because I was thinking about different biopics and stuff, and there's a book, and it's also a documentary called Bone Wars, and it's about these two paleontologists, like real life paleontologists from the 1800s that were rivals, and they were they were rivals in the sense that they would sabotage each other with their discoveries and findings. Like even like destroying each other's like skeletons and stuff. It sounds like it would be a very interesting like movie. I think that would be fun.
That actually does sound like a good one.
Is this actually based? I'm trying to see if there's a book.
What are you doing?
So is there a book? Because I just googled.
Yeah, it's a book based on real events.
Okay, because I just googled it, and the first thing I saw was the two faces from your Twitter feed, and I'm like, what? Yeah. So Bone Wars, okay. You already got one, Key?
I mean, I have a shit post one and then an actual one.
Please.
My real one would probably be, I talk about this book, I think I've talked about this book like 4 times on this podcast since its inception, but the Diary of Henrietta Lacks, the person whose cells that were taken from like a pap smear or something, which is still being used today, and the book is about how her family has, dealt with poverty and stuff because they've never seen any of the money that Henrietta's cells actually went to achieve. Because of her cells, we actually have a polio vaccine, and her cells have been sent into space and all these stuff because they keep randomly multiplying. And to my knowledge, there's never been a biopic about her, which I think is a damn shame, given that we owe a lot to that.
Okay, so this was your shitpost one. What's your serious one?
Oh, my real one is definitely an indie title.
Oh.
It's a story about friendship and betrayal. About a friend who thought they could trust the other friend, but then that friend brought someone else to the podcast. I basically talked about the transcript of me and Saber's discussion in your Twitch chat a few minutes ago.
I see.
I mean, I could read it. Forgive me, Saber. Bruh, please. Never, Chrissy. We're done. Cries. Anime tears.
Oh no, not anime tears. It's basically
you know,
already a movie.
I mean, yes, but for real, I think the Henrietta Lacks one would be... A lot of the ideas that I would like are basically biopics, because real life can be interesting. Believe it or not. We don't always need swords and dragons. I mean, you can add them. I would love to see a dragon in the Bone Wars.
Great. Do I now have to come up with a very down to earth answer as well, since both of you did?
You could be the antithesis and come up with something more fun.
I mean, I want to go back to something that I must have talked about on this show, like with, I mean, it's the Never Hero, which I talked about before, like by the independent author trilogy, still desperately waiting for the third part to finally come out and then being adapted as an audiobook. Because god damn it, you cannot expect me to read, can you? No, but
I actually bought the
You actually bought?
No, I was just gonna say that you were such an audiobook person, and I realized that I have to have like both, because I bought the Witcher PDF of the actual book and read it faster than the audio.
No surprise there. But
you were saying.
I mean, it will at the end of the day probably be just a very eye candy, action heavy flick. But then again, he has a lot of stuff going on between the action scenes, but he has very juicy action scenes, and the way he describes it in the book would probably translate very well to screen.
I mean, I wonder how much they would cut of the build-up, because the big portion of the book,
especially the first one,
normal life and stuff.
Yeah, and even in the second book, it's like, most of the kills he did in between are just happening off screen, and he's like, oh yeah, I killed like so many by now. The action is really not that big of a deal. I assume if they would turn it into a series, then they would have like every other episode another fight, but it would probably be less of an action flick, but still, it's like, I mean, I believe the book itself compares it, brings up the idea of Rocky. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's with Rocky. Rocky is the majority of the movie is the training and the build-up, and then you have the fight in the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's similar in that regard, I would say. One curious aspect, so where maybe a film adaptation is not the best way, we have a very introverted and very untalkative protagonist, while we experience a lot of his inner cosmos through the book, as books do. So transferring him and all his unspoken inner thoughts and stuff on the screen. There are.
I mean, Samurai Jack handled that well with a basically silent protagonist and having the world around him.
I know, but I'm just saying this is something that easily can get fucked up dramatically.
Right.
So
like the thief and the cobbler.
But yeah, so it's a little bit a question of who would transfer it. I sadly don't have a good name at hand, but if it's handled right. Oh no!
I mean, he could handle the action parts.
I just want to no.
Okay.
Anyways,
but also, I want to point out to people in the chat. Odie said Assassin Quest. Lizzie said Console Wars, which would be a good one. The whole Sega Nintendo Console Wars is an interesting subject, and I have listened to that book, and that book is amazing.
Haven't come around yet. Quarantine is keeping me from my audiobooks.
You also have like 40 books in your list.
Mm-hmm.
Sword to the Rightful King from DJ Skywalker, and Voice says that he actually would like a historical comedy based around USS William D. Porter, preferably by the Horrible Histories guys. Those are all good suggestions.
Yeah.
Next. From Discord, from Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Thanks, Odie. Great name. This question is brought to you by the Michael Jackson Experience. How do you cool down after working out? After working out.
Working out.
Yeah, what's that? This actually works well, given that I have been doing a workout plan recently because all the gyms are closed and I can't do my weightlifting, and that's making me sad. And so I started doing the Spartacus workout, which is this big full body strength training workout that you have to do 3 circuits of, like 10 exercises each, 60 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. Repeat that 3 times. It hurts. So cool down is necessary. So what I do is, to demonstrate, I like to lie on the floor and scream in pain. That's a great cool down.
Sounds about right.
I mean, honestly, that's what I do to cool down is actually being on the floor and doing yoga or something of the ilk, because my muscles have a huge tendency to tense up after workout, and then I'm waddling like a penguin for the next 2 days, and I'd rather not do that when I'm in my own home. But yeah, that's my answer.
Better in your home than in a public place doing the penguin. What do I do? Most of the time it really then goes to the shower first, because I'm a sweaty guy, and after workout I need sweat. What else for cool down? It's a good. I mean,
you used to do the gym before work.
Exactly. So basically, gym, then cool down in a hot shower. There's an irony.
Cool down is doing IT.
Basically, yeah, and then just back to life. So.
Yeah. Paleo, I'm sure, given that you are an Adonis of a man, just bulging with muscles on every tendon, you must have a cool down plan.
Oh, no, I don't. Because I don't really work out. I should, but
I mean, you lift all those kitties up.
Yeah, you bench press 2 cats. I mean, I have to say, it must be uneven given the size of Salem compared to Patches, but...
Salem is a lot heavier.
Black cats tend to get heavier, I've noticed, because my cat Max became a chunky boy after we got him fixed.
The previous cat I had before Salem, actually, she was very small compared to Salem. She was also a black cat.
Yeah, I guess it's also just with boys, when you get them fixed, they tend to, after they lose their grapes, they tend to slow down a little bit. To the boys watching the chat, I hope you enjoyed that descriptor of your little buddies. But yeah. So
next one.
I guess the next question is also from Enigma.
Or from Twitter. Anyways, you continue.
How many did we get?
3.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, okay, let's do the Twitter one, and then I'll do the Discord one, and we can go to our last question.
Okie dokie. Yeah, this one I actually have to screen share because it came with a relevant GIF. So everyone's favorite project involving puppetry, be it movie, TV show, or the like.
Oh, this is a good question.
Oh, and I actually also already know my answer.
I know my answer, but let's let the guest go first. We're being impolite.
But what
does Jurassic Park count as animatronic puppetry?
Yeah. If you're talking about original, Jurassic Park had amazing puppets. Except for the Brontosaurus one that kind of looked like a McDonald's place. But okay, so we got Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. Max, why don't you go?
Avenue Q.
Avenue Q is great.
Avenue Q, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a theater production, so it's neither a movie, TV show, it's all the like, and it's as the name potentially indicates, it's based on Sesame Street, but Avenue Q, and it's mature audience. It has great songs like "If You Would Be Gay, That Would Be Okay." The internet is for porn. It has Schadenfreude. It has everybody's just a little bit racist. So it actually is very intelligent in its critique. It has great critique and it's very blunt in it. But less critique and more like, hey guys, everybody's a little bit racist, and it addresses those
satire.
Exactly, and it addresses those topics, but in a good way. Sadly, there is no DVD version of it yet. I hope it one day comes. If it will, then I will gladly get it myself. Buy it, yeah. Sadly, there's only this secretly filmed ripped version on YouTube.
It's sad that there wasn't a recorded version, given that that play is in the top 25 longest running Broadway shows of all time.
Yeah.
It's number 24.
And it was pretty amazing.
It is amazing. And I know that they still do touring and a bunch of stuff, but yeah, no official disc. The only like closest to official thing is on YouTube. You can see the original cast perform
individual songs.
No, they perform Queen songs like "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions." But yeah, no, Avenue Q is great. It's also something to be respected because most of the puppeteers play multiple characters. Like Kate Monster and Lucy the Slut are played by the same person.
Really? Are they never in the same place?
Yeah, no, I would have to see. But Rod and Princeton are played by the same person, which is especially amazing given that one of the songs is basically them being the main singers. Nikki and Trekkie Monster are played by the same person. It's a really good show. But my choice.
Yes, please.
My choice is the puppetry of Audrey 2 in the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I was thinking of that when I saw that question, but I was like, no, I'll go with Jurassic Park.
I love that puppet so much. I did an entire presentation in school about the puppeteering of Audrey 2, both on the stage production and the movie. Fun fact, the final form of Audrey, like the one that does the big green mother from outer space, is 2 tons.
Damn.
And needs to be manned by, I think, 14 people. And
that is...
what they did, which is also a credit to the actors that had to perform with Audrey 2 in the movie. What they had to do is record the scenes backwards. So they actually had to put the audio of the voice actor, play it in reverse, and do the scenes in reverse, and then when they edit it, then reversed it so it's actually playing normally, because the reverse of the lip syncing actually made the lip syncing more accurate. So whenever you see Rick Moranis performing with Audrey 2,
he's moving backwards.
He's moving in reverse. He's lip syncing to the ADR in reverse.
I have once done for a college project. I have once done a 5-minute video movie where I was also doing everything in reverse, and that's not easy. Try walking naturally in reverse; it's impossible. So
I like your story about how many times you had to drink beer for that.
Oh God, yes.
But no, it's not that they had to do it slowly. They had to do it in reverse to get the lip syncing right, and it's the most prevalent if you watch the "Feed Me" sequence when Audrey 2 pulls Seymour in, and you see how Rick Moranis talks. That's the one moment where it's kind of apparent because things just move a little bit too fast. But it's such an amazing puppet. I think that is I know people would argue with me because Dark Crystal exists, but I think Audrey 2 is the height of the Jim Henson Company.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's amazing looking.
And the stage show is amazing too. It's the one thing, call me pretentious, it's the one thing that I worry about with this Little Shop of Horrors remake is if Audrey 2 is completely done in CGI.
Yeah, the original was also a remake, like of the 50s one, but nobody cares about that one.
Yeah, but like if I don't mind the cast. I like that Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans and all this people and Taron Egerton is going to be in it. It's going to be good. I just really hope they go. I can't believe I'm saying this. I hope they go the Jurassic World route and mix animatronic with CGI to make it more organic. I can't believe I'm saying a compliment towards Jurassic World.
I love Jurassic World.
I
like all of the Jurassic Park movies.
You have a bias. ANY can say.
And also I really love the short that they put out, Battle at Big Rock.
Oh, that one's I like that one.
Yeah, they had an animatronic for the Allosaurus going into the RV there. That was great.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, I was gonna say, there was a lot of people saying like, this is stupid. Why would people be going out when these dinosaurs are around? And now the coronavirus is happening, and people are going out. Even though it's there.
Yeah.
I was like, of course people would go out. They would ignore it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so now Jurassic World 3 is actually going to make a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to say this. Jurassic World 1 was fun. Jurassic World 2 I saw in theaters with this guy down here, and I think most of the time by the third act I was getting angry because I was like, mostly during the reveal of the kid being a clone, I was just like,
oh yeah.
I'm so annoyed. This science is bull honky. You should not put Jeff Goldblum as a credited actor on your poster when he's in 2 scenes that he probably recorded on the same day. You bastards! Okay, enough of me being angry. Our final question, because the rest of the questions are about coronavirus, and I don't feel like it today. What's one media you can't fathom or believe actually exists, or that someone has wasted time, effort, and money to create it into existence?
Everything that Saber makes me watch.
All those what the hells?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of maybe a lot of the things that come to mind are indie, or like not indie, but they're more.
You already talked about it last week, didn't you?
What did I talk about?
And you didn't finish it.
No. The B-movie musical has the right to exist.
Oh, the Apple.
Oh wait, no, you're talking about the Apple.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? I watched the rest of it, by the way.
Where were your live tweets?
No. This movie is a succubus of energy. I didn't have the energy to live tweet it.
What about your finger videos?
I did record a finger video. I need to post it.
Yeah.
It was mostly me at the end credits just going like, this movie was 2 hours. You know what could have been done in 2 hours? Anything but watching this. I hate that movie. That is a movie I can legit say I hate. I feel like I would like it more if I watched it with someone. Watching it alone is just painful, and no amount of watermelon vodka can put that feeling away. But no, I guess the Apple. I feel like this
You're
is a
welcome.
money laundering screen. Okay, what about you guys? What about you, Max? Anything I make you watch.
What was the exact wording again? Fathom actually exists so that someone wasted time, effort, and money to create into this existence. I don't want to go with the too obvious one, but due to lack of creativity, I guess I have to. The Cats movie.
Oh, the Cats movie.
I mean, I'm a fan of the actual musical, and I have the
I'm
DVD of the musical.
Too,
but yeah, it's like, why? Why does it exist? It's like, it's so not good.
You know what? I have an addendum to mine.
Oh.
Which is the stage version. Fucking Starlight Express from Andrew Lloyd Webber. I don't want to see a musical about living trains wanting to fuck each other that are apparently the creation of some little boy having a dream about his toy trains.
What?
Okay. In the post show, I'm going to explain Starlight Express. Stay tuned. Because if I explain Starlight Express on the main show, we'll be here all day. But yeah, so I guess we're at our final question.
No, Paleo. Has Paleo answered?
Paleo said
I just said everything that Saber makes me watch.
Oh, okay, fair.
It was an easy answer. So this is the part of the show that we don't have in the tutorial video, but I think we have.
We really need to record our updates. We have no excuse not to record the updated lines. And do we ever going to share this video with our audience?
No.
Okay, I thought one post show maybe, but fine. That wasn't no.
I need to explain Starlight Express in the post show, dear. Hashtag Ask Awkward. Do you know the definition of irony? I don't. But anyways, fuck, marry, kill. Video call sites. Discord, Zoom, or Google Meet. Have fun, enjoy your lag and lost connection.
Discord, Zoom, and Google Meet. At least I'm familiar with all three. This is already a good start.
I feel bad that we don't have Skype, because that would be...
Then we would just all kill Skype, so...
Okay. Paleo, our lovely guest.
I've never used the other two.
Oh.
Well, that is...
Oh no.
Huh.
You can't kill two.
From what you've heard, the energy that goes with those things.
Well, I heard that Zoom takes a lot of information, but, Google already knows everything about you.
Zoom produces memes.
Yeah, but I believe it involuntarily, so...
Oh, I mean, like, when people put anime backgrounds as their meetings. Oh, wait. I hate you.
But yeah,
I guess...
But Zoom has it as a built-in feature, while I needed to use my streaming software to create this. But yeah, Paleo.
I guess I'll fuck Google Meet, marry Discord, and kill Zoom. I don't want to fuck Zoom because I might get something.
Okay, good point. But why the other two?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Well, Discord, like, I'm so, like, ingrained into Discord at this point, so I mean, it's like, might as well marry it. For Google Meets, I've never used it, but I know Google, and I'm like, well, I mean, you already know everything about me, so you probably know how to fuck me anyway, so.
Nice.
Just to say, as someone who followed your Tumblrs, dude, it's not that hard to know. Oof. But no, I guess I'll go, I'm gonna marry Google Meet. Because Google's a very rich company.
The gold digger.
Well, look, it had to come back at some point. Also, Google, I would know everything about everyone, and that's a power
There's so much gossip to have in this marriage.
I can blackmail anyone I want. I can blackmail Chris Pratt and say, I will leak your search history if you don't buy me a coffee.
Oh my god, it's all just good and wholesome and some Christian things. Damn it, Chris Pratt, why are you so perfect?
Why are you so perfect? And it's, you look up cat videos. Oh, wait, you watch Paleo? What if Chris Pratt watched one of us? Chris Pratt, are you watching this podcast?
If you want to be a guest, let us know. If we try it the other way around, your manager will probably be a dick. We had this before, not with Chris Pratt.
But no, and then I will kill Zoom, because I want to kill education. And most people are doing virtual classes in Zoom.
It's true.
And you know what? Fuck school. We need a break. People are going through enough. They don't need to deal with homework and laggy lectures. Kill Zoom.
Exactly. You are playing into your president's hands there, I guess.
Yes. And then...
An uneducated public is exactly what every good dictator needs.
Okay. Look, they'll go back to school when the world is done being on fire.
Wait, did somebody say on fire?
See, Paleo, you only have to deal with this once. This is every weekend for me.
Yeah, every time Keyframe comes into the AWKWARDCast, it's like...
Anyway, and then I'm going to fuck Discord. Because you know what? It's interesting. It's always updating. There's plenty of, like, bots that you could do for custom things, so that could get kinky. But I don't want to marry it because, well, look, there's not a lot of gamers that use Discord. That's what its original purpose, and there's only so much I can take. There's a lot of annoying people in Discord, and you know, I don't want to commit to that many bad people.
So wait, you just killed Discord? No.
I killed Discord. Oh no!
You fucked Discord.
Okay, yeah, I fucked Discord, killed Zoom, and married Google.
Okay. Can I completely reverse this? You both have killed Zoom, right? So I mean, I would also, to be the contrarian, I also wouldn't want to marry Zoom. But hey, it's a young one, the fresh one, who has fun gimmicks and shit, so I'm gonna fuck this Zoom. And I might even get smarter if accidentally some kind of class is on. Denim is doing German classes where adults are. I'm thinking primarily of it as adults.
I know. Still, anyways. So, yes, you fuck Zoom.
I cannot be completely contrarian already because you had...
Yes, but are we going to hear your fucking
no, I might no, actually it's not a utility answer, I believe. It's actually I am going to kill Google because that's or Google Hangout, because at this point the only thing that can stop Google because it's too big to fail is like completely destroying it. So if we ever want to be free of our G-shaped overlords, it's kill Google. One app at a time.
A robot that can only damage itself.
Basically, yeah. So and so I guess I will follow Paleo's example and marry Discord, because that's where, yeah, actually the majority of my communication happens nowadays. I mean, I use Skype mostly only for this show, and except for today where I can't because Skype is a dick, and. I mean, the downside is that I'm now, I have the cursor is back, everybody. The cursor is back on faces. Because I actually have to screen cap.
It's like
I cannot.
Babysitting, but on live TV.
But the good thing is that we don't have this horrible, because before I could take the camera feed from Christian the guest and put it directly into OBS, but it had this lovely delay, which was, I mean, more professional, but also more shit. So maybe
I like Karina Keys in the chat. People still use Skype, believe it or not. Yes.
For podcasts, actually, because it has this live feed ability. But yeah, this backfired horribly anyways. So yeah, Discord seems to be a keeper. So gonna marry that.
Put a ring on it.
Yeah, and I still have some of the games in the library. They discontinued it, but I still own some of the Discord games. I found this out recently when I tried to delete it, and Discord was like, hey, you want to delete this? And I'm like, whoa, Discord, you are still here with those games? So, yeah. Sorry, didn't really turn out as title droppy as it could have been. Yeah, this was harmless this week.
I really want to talk about Starlight Brigade, so that's awkward. Bye, guys.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward gags. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward gags. It's the awkward. Artwork and analysis, which you do not